Here's something no one tells you about space. It's deaf. Like, aggressively, permanently, absolutely mute. There's no air to carry sound. It's quieter than a group chat after you send a risky meme. In space, nothing hears you. Not even you. But that's not even the fun part. Because to scream, you need air. And if you're just floating out there in your meat suit, guess what you don't have? Oxygen, pressure, even a chance to keep your organs where they belong. And before you ask, yes, we're going to walk through exactly how your body collapses just from trying to yell. Because that's the vibe here. Science, trauma, and a sprinkle of existential dread. The first 5 seconds, the scream that never happened. The moment you open your mouth in space and try to scream, your body's like, cool, we die now. Because space doesn't suck air out of you, it explodes it out. Your lungs, once full and hopeful, collapse like sad deflated balloons. The air rushes out so fast, you can't even make a sound. Your vocal cords, slapped shut by reflex. Your trachea, a dry wind tunnel of regret. Your scream, instantly murdered by physics. Meanwhile, your throat dries out faster than a forgotten Pop-Tart. Your eyes? They're already bubbling up like boba pearls in a boiling pot. All because you had one stupid idea. Let's scream into the void. Genius. 30 seconds later, welcome to facial decompression. Without atmospheric pressure holding things in, your body starts to swell. Not cartoonishly, but definitely horrifically. Your bodily fluids, blood, saliva, eyeball juice, start to boil. Not from heat, just from the low pressure. Congrats. You're now a human kettle. Your face puffs up like it's allergic to reality. Your eyes bulge. Your gut is like, let's see what freedom tastes like. If you were still conscious, you might try to scream again. But now, it'd just be a wheezy death whisper coming straight from your collapsing windpipe. And your tongue? It's flapping around in your mouth like a sun-dried sock. Useless. Desperate. Just like your plan to scream in the vacuum of space. Microstory 3. 2 minutes in. The awkward pause between panic and death. Let's pretend, for science, that you're still alive. Your body is frozen in panic, literally and metaphorically. You're rotating in space like a forgotten DiGiorno pizza, slowly freezing from the outside in. You can't breathe. You can't blink. You definitely can't scream. And now your eyes are just raw orbs of trauma, scraping every time you try to blink. Not that it matters. Your vision's already a blur of stars, regret, and retinal frostbite. Your brain? It's shutting down like an iPhone in a snowstorm. Battery, 3%. Functionality, pure chaos. Your last conscious thought, maybe this wasn't my brightest moment. And you'd be correct. 15 minutes later, the floating meme of failure. Now you're dead, but you're not rotting. You're special, a preserved popsicle of human failure, floating silently like some weird space art installation. There are no bacteria in space to break you down, so your body's frozen, mummified in a pose that says, I tried to scream. I really did. You're stuck like that. A fossil of a bad decision. A statue in the museum of what not to do outside the spaceship. And if another astronaut saw you floating by, they'd probably mutter, ah. Another one who screamed into the void. And float away, because now you're a cautionary tale. The mummy who screamed and failed. 100 years later, when your scream becomes meme. You're still up there, floating, untouched, eternal. And now, famous. Because in the year 2128, some influencer discovers your body and turns it into a viral challenge. The space scream Tatisem. There's a filter. There's merch. There's a documentary narrated by a guy who says literally every 5 seconds. Your name becomes a meme. Your death? A marketing campaign. Your scream? Still unheard. But the real kicker? Scientists are still studying you. Not to understand space better, but to figure out why anyone would ever try to scream in it. You've become the cosmic symbol of wasted effort. A monument to the futility of yelling where no one's listening. The universe responds. With silence. And in the end, the universe does respond. Not with noise, not with understanding, just silence. Cold, final, judgmental. Because in space, no one can hear you scream, but everyone can forget you. You are now a frozen balloon of regret spinning toward infinity. And the universe? It's moved on, probably chuckling. So next time, you look up at the stars and think, What if I screamed up there? Just remember, space doesn't care. It doesn't flinch. It doesn't even echo. It just watches. While you fall apart, your scream will never exist. Only the silence will. A silence so thick it feels personal. Because screaming in space is like texting your ex after therapy. All effort, zero return, and you still end up looking pathetic. Hit subscribe, or don't. But if you decide to scream into the cosmos tomorrow, just know, it'll ghost you harder than any situationship ever could.